Alright, this is another video for Alex. Just wanted to go through more of my cards and kind of just show you what I've got in terms of, it's called relics. Basically, these are pieces of game used jersey or pants or bat of certain players. So I've got a bunch I'm going to show you, and I've got a bunch I'm not going to put on here just for sake of time, but just want to show you some of the favorites. This one here is Alex Rodriguez, really good player. This one is got a piece of a jersey and bat. One thing that I'll tell you about these relics, that I'll tell you now, and it applies to like kind of to my preference for these things. If you look at the back of these, it says that this card basically is an authentic piece of game used bat or jersey, used by whatever major league player in a major league game, right? So I always pay attention to the language here where it says an actual game used whatever by player in an actual major league game. And the reason I call that out is because a lot of relics you'll see has something to the effect of, this jersey or this bat, is not from any specific game, season, or event, is what it says in the back of the card. That means, in my mind, it could be anything, right? It could be, snot rag that the third base coach used. I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. It's not an actual piece of jersey. So the way it's worded on the back of these things actually matter in my mind. So I always try to go for, I never pay for cards that have the season event thing, but it has to have the specific language or something along these lines. So this is one for Alex Rodriguez, really good player. This is another one where it's, again, game used jersey and piece of bat by Ivan Rodriguez. This is a catcher for several teams, but he's got a cannon for an arm. Again, you'll notice the exact same language for these two cards. Another one that I've got here is for pitchers from the Yankees, Andy Pettitte and Mariano Rivera. The reason that I like these relics is basically because, in my mind, it's kind of like a piece of history, right? This is, again, if you're getting the right cards where it says actually game used, in my mind, this is a game used jersey from these actual players. That's kind of cool. So that's why I like these. So that's those two. Again, more Yankees. Got these broken out by team for the most part, I think, team and year. So Derek Jeter and Jorge Posada, again, Yankee players from the late 90s, early 2000s. These two are actually best friends. So cool piece of card here. And again, different brand name, but a different type of card, but it says the same thing. Certified as being used in an official major league game by these players. So I only buy relics that has this kind of disclaimer on it. And two more Yankees players, Paul O'Neill and Bernie Williams. These are just bat pieces. And looking through eBay, it seems like pieces of jersey or pants are more sought after than bats for whatever reason. I personally don't care. It's kind of cool just to have the actual game used piece of equipment. But these two players are pretty good. This is another one for Chipper Jones and Albert Pujols. I believe this is probably Pujols' rookie card. This is 2001. If you can see in here somewhere. Yeah, right over here. My thumb is. It says 2001. So this is a rookie card. Again, piece of bat for these two players. Chipper Jones is also a really good third baseman for the Braves. Speaking of Braves, here's my little Braves team set. So I've got one for Tom Glavine, a great left-handed pitcher for the Braves in the 90s. Great right-handed pitcher and also a great analyst right now on Fox News. John Smoltz is an analyst for Fox and does a great job, I think, calling games. So, again, different card, but again, it all has the same language in the back. Authentic piece of jersey worn by John Smoltz in an official Major League game. I would only get relics if it has that disclaimer. So, know more about that. This one, again, another Braves player. He's actually obviously for the Cubs in this picture, but he was one of the Braves for a long time. Again, I like how that shows the pinstripes on the uniforms, if I'm able to find those. Another great player, Fred McGriff, just got to the Hall of Fame recently. This is actually a piece of batting glove, which is different. I didn't know they had batting glove relics, but there that is. So that's kind of cool. One of the best hitters and players in the game, Barry Bonds. If you research, he's also very tied closely to steroids. So again, in my mind, he didn't need to use steroids. He was a great player before that even happened, so he didn't need to do all that. But I'm not going to go down that path. But again, just kind of cool to have game-used piece of jersey from Barry Bonds. This next one here is Bo Jackson. He actually played baseball and football professionally. In my mind, one of the, if not the best athletes that I've ever seen, at least. Just speed, power, just a great athlete overall. So this is, again, from Fleer, a different company, but again, if you go to the back, again, actual authentic jersey, so, or a bat in this case. More Yankees. David Cohn and Joe Girardi. These two actually were in a perfect game. So David Cohn threw a perfect game back in 1998, and Joe Girardi actually caught that perfect game for him. So again, I like how it shows kind of the pinstripes in here. So one thing you'll notice, and I'll show you some later as you get down this video, these uniforms look pretty fresh. As you look at some of the older ones, again, the uniform's a little more worn, as you would expect, just being older. So that's that one. More Yankees. Roger Clemens played for the Yankees as well as the Red Sox and some other teams. Again, little piece of the pinstripe. Can't see much of it, but a cool card. Right. Another icon of the Yankees, Don Mattingly. Again, very small piece of the pinstripe. I always noticed little triangles there. I didn't know that was on the jersey. You can't tell, obviously, in the TV when you watch the games. But it's kind of cool to see little nuances like that on the uniforms. Right. Doc Gooden. Dwight Gooden, his nickname is Doc. Played for the Yankees, the Mets as well. Just another great player that I always watched growing up. One thing you'll notice with these relics, this one here has some whitening at the bottom. Not the best condition overall. I don't grade these for the most part, just because they're kind of hard to grade high, especially this one. This is total crap, obviously. But other ones, because they're thick, if you look at the side of these, they're kind of thick sometimes. Some are thicker than others. But it's hard for those to come out with high grades because it's thickness and it's can kind of wear in the corners and sides and edges. So. This is another cool one, another Yankee. Darryl Strawberry. Again, game used bat and jersey. It's kind of cool. Okay, I think that's the end of my Yankees. Tony Gwynn, one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter, at least in the modern era. This guy could hit anything. He's a great player. He's passed away, unfortunately, but seemed like he was a nice guy, one of the really nice guys in the game. And again, awesome hitter. So. This one's a little different. Cal Ripken Jr., again, game used jersey, but also obviously an autograph. So where I can, try to find these cards that have jerseys and autographs at the same time. That's kind of cool. You'll notice some of these are numbered. I think there may have been some other ones that I passed through, but this is numbered obviously 161 out of 200. So kind of cool there. Dale Murphy was a player that I watched growing up a lot. TBS, they had a lot of Braves games all over the country. And Dale Murphy was one of my favorite players I used to watch. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but in my mind, he should be there, hopefully soon. And again, game-used jersey from Dale Murphy. Almost done with the Yankees. Going back to the Yankees for a minute. Joe Torre was the manager of the Yankees. Again, late 90s into early 2000s. Won, I believe, 4 World Series. Great manager, and he was a player, obviously. So this is, again, if you notice the coloring of the material is a little bit older and worn. You'll see this more with these older pieces of jersey. So there's one for Joe Torre. Johnny Bench, another great Hall of Fame catcher. Game worn jersey for him. One of my favorite players, Roberto Clemente. In a different video, I talked more about him, but again, just a great person overall. You know, he died actually trying to get supplies to an earthquake that was in Nicaragua, and it's really sad. But again, you got a game piece of authentic game-used jersey from him. Or I'm sorry, bat from him, and a jersey from Willie Mays. Again, one of the great players in the game, Willie Mays. This one is kind of new, so maybe it's a newer uniform. But again, not going to go through it, but it's got the same disclosure. So another one you'll see a difference of in the jersey here is Stam Usual. Again, you'll see older picture. Looks like this uniform is more heavier material. Looks like, so I'm not sure what material it is, but you see the coloring difference there. But great player for the Cardinals. Again, overall really nice guy as well. For whatever reason, I just kind of like collecting players that are nice guys too, in addition to being great players in the field. And I guess one more Yankee. Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra was kind of a character. If you ever want to look him up, he has some interesting quotes. But again, game used piece of jersey or pants, whatever this is, from Yogi Berra. Right. Going to some of the more modern players over here. Aaron Judge. This particular card is Topps Chrome Authentic. So if you see here, there's a little sticker with the code on there. Where the other ones, it said it's used by game used by the player and in a major league game, but it's pretty broad. It could be any game, which is fine to me. The ones with these stickers, if you put it onto Topps website, it'll tell you the exact game when this uniform was used and who was played against. So that's kind of cool. So again, game used obviously from Aaron Judge, and if I look this up, you'll be able to see what game it was here. So I can pause there. Another one. More Yankees, can't get away from it. Juan Soto, my favorite player, modern player. Again, game used piece of jersey from him when he was with the Yankees. This is a really cool one. Trey Turner, he played for the Nationals for a few years. Was with the Nats when they won the World Series in 2019. Main difference you can probably see here is this one actually is a piece of the actual uniform, probably his name, I think. It looks like an N maybe. That's kind of cool to be able to see that. You notice these ones with the better relics where it shows more of the patch, different colors, things like that. These are thicker than some of the other ones. If you can see how thick this is compared to like this Juan Soto one where it's kind of thin. So, because I'm thinking it's thicker because then you get more of the actual piece of jersey in there. So, just kind of cool, multicolor. Again, to me, looks kind of like an N in his name, Turner. Could be wrong, but just again, really cool relic. Another great player, Yadier Molina. One of the best catchers defensively in my mind. Just an awesome player. Great defensive catcher, great leader on the team. So if you ever want to Google him or search him in YouTube to see some of his highlights, really great player. Right. This one is not a player, but Jeff Passan is a journalist for ESPN. It's kind of cool to have, again, game use, not game use, subject use. So it could be maybe a piece of his shirt or something, I don't know. But again, kind of cool to have a piece of material from his shirt or something with, again, an on-card autograph, which is kind of cool. Right. I will jump over now to some of my more favorite relics. These are the ones where some of these are a little higher value, but I don't care too much about the value, more so than just for whatever reason the jersey. And game worn pants. This is Lou Gehrig. Again, played with Babe Ruth for several years. Again, one of the best players in the game, and you can tell how worn this relic is, right? It shows a very faint line from the pinstripe. The pants are worn here. And this one, if you look at the back, it actually shows you, which is kind of cool, the actual pants that this piece of material is cut from. Not all these do that, but this is actually really cool. This actually shows the actual pants, and again, numbered 75 out of 100. So this is one of my favorite relics because I love Lou Gehrig as a player. But again, just the actual wornness of the material there, I guess, and then that it shows the actual pants. Another one here, again, the same player I mentioned before, Roberto Clemente. This also has a piece of jersey of Vladimir Guerrero. A little bit of a piece of extra material sticking out there. I don't care about value, but if I were to grade this, I'm guessing that piece would kind of drop the grade down, I would suspect. But again, I don't care about that. I'm more around just the actual material. But again, if you look at this one also in the back shows you the actual jerseys that this pieces of fabric are cut from these two jerseys. Again, not many do that, especially these days, but this is pretty cool. And this is numbered to 50. Another one here, Hank Aaron, home run leader. I don't count Barry Bonds as a home run leader because in my mind he cheated with steroids. But Hank Aaron, again, you can see the difference between this and some of the more modern relics. Again, game used from 1971, looks like. So that's kind of cool. Another Yankee, Joe DiMaggio. Again, you'll see the difference in the pinstripe. Modern ones look more clear-cut triangles. This is more blurry, I guess. Again, obviously an older uniform. He played back in the 40s and 50s, along with a piece of his bat. So this is really cool. This one is Mickey Mantle, another one of the great Yankees. And again, this piece of jersey there, number to 50. This is kind of thick. You'll see how the thickness is there. And it shows his actual jersey that he wore. Again, I just love these relics, again, mostly because of the history part of it. So, all right, so this one is another same style, same type of card, but for Ted Williams. Again, I mentioned Tony Gwynn before as one of the best hitters. You know, if he's not the best, then this guy is. He played a long time ago, back in the 50s and 60s. He also paused his career to go fight in World War II as a fighter pilot, which is pretty cool. But if you look at his numbers overall, he had great numbers to begin with. But if you add back those 5 years that he lost in his prime when he was in World War II, his numbers would be even more impressive. Again, number to 50 there. So that's Ted Williams. This one is another modern player. This is Ichiro Suzuki. Again, one of the greatest hitters. It's from Japan. Cool piece of jersey. Again, I like the ones where they show different color patches. You know, there's part of the white, part of the silver and black from when he was with the Marlins, and an on-card autograph as well. Again, I love the on-card autos, especially with the cool jerseys. So that's Ichiro. This one is my favorite player again, Juan Soto. Another on-card auto, multi-patch. Again, with that certificate sticker from Major League Baseball. If you look that number up, you'll see the actual game he used this in. This was a game I looked up earlier. This is a piece of material from a game that he wore during his rookie season. So this is not a rookie card, but the material is worn during his rookie season. Number to 25, autographed on card. And again, the lower numbered ones you'll see are generally pretty thick compared to some of the other ones that are just basic pieces of fabric. All right, a few more. Mentioned before, Chipper Jones. Another one, number to 25, multicolored patch, and again, on-card autograph. And as you can see, pretty thick. So, again, really cool player, nice guy, sounds like Chipper Jones. So, there's that one. This one's really cool. This is Steven Strasburg. So one thing I'll call out about this, two things actually. One, you'll notice the autograph is on a sticker. I'm not a huge fan of sticker autos. Actually, I don't like them at all. Be honest, I'd rather have a card that, you know, is on card auto, or the player actually held the card and signed it. Little thing, you know, but it's my personal preference. I try to avoid these sticker autos. But the one reason I got this card in particular was this is a piece of a base, I believe. If you look at the back here, was worn or used during his major league debut, his first game. If you ever want to go to YouTube and look this guy up, his first major league game as a rookie was one of the best pitching performances you'll ever see. Again, very first game in the big leagues. He was a hyped prospect and struck out like 14 batters. Just a dominant performance. So because of the fact that this came from his first game is why I got the sticker auto, because of the relic. But generally I try to avoid sticker autos whenever I can. But Steven Strasburg was a great player. Unfortunately, he had a bunch of injuries and his career was cut short. In my mind, he could have made it to the Hall of Fame if he would have kept playing, but injuries kind of took him down there. So pretty unfortunate, but a great player and a cool performance. Again, if you ever want to YouTube his first game. The last three here, this is Paul Skeens, another great pitcher that's pitching today. Number 5 of 5, again, multicolored patch here from his game-worn piece of uniform. This is a modern one, 2025, but if you look at the description, again, it says contained in this card are game-used pieces of equipment or uniforms from an official Major League game from the athlete pictured on the card, but it may not be the event. You know, again, that's still official game use as opposed to that other one that says not from any specific game, season, or event. That doesn't count in my mind. I want game used, but by the player. So, really cool one from Paul Skeens. Next up is the greatest player in the game ever, in my mind, Shohei Ohtani. Looks like he's pitching here. He's a pitcher and a hitter. I mentioned in a different video, an elite pitcher, an elite hitter. Fast as hell, just great player, a true unicorn in terms of just how he's able to play. Another game used piece of jersey from him. Because he's such a great player, I really looked for a card from Shohei Ohtani. You notice the kind of glare in the colors here. This is a rainbow foil card is what the card is called. Again, kind of paper card stock, but it's got reflective foil on it. Makes it kind of cool in the light. And the last one I'll show you is one of my favorite players from the Nats is James Wood. Again, numbered to 50, game used pieces of material. Again, that rainbow foil card. Cool thing about James Wood is he came over in the trade for Juan Soto. So Juan Soto, of course, played for the Nats. We traded him back then to the Padres for several prospects, including this guy. I saw him play briefly at the minor league level at the Fredericksburg Nationals. He wasn't there very long because he was so good, and he's really one of the best players in the game today. Power hitter, big guy. He's like 6'7", but again, great player. Love the card, number to 50, and a game use patch. So that's it. I've got several more relics, but I'm not going to show it because we're going up to 21 minutes here. Don't want to make it too long, although this is probably way long as it is. But just wanted to show you these. So I hope you like it. All right.